And I think so it's recording right now. So back at it again on the Growin Samoan podcast. Welcome back. Uh, the journey goes on. Talo for lava. I'm your host, DJ Hand Dog, with my beautiful co-host, my wife, Tala. And it's been a minute. Shoot, we haven't did our podcast in a few months. It's been a while. We just got into some things, got real busy. And we actually got motivated and pushed to do our podcast by our next interviewer, who's inspired us to get off our moolies and get back to work. So I like, for real, like, everything happens for a reason, and I've been meaning to get back to a lot of our viewers who are out there, our peoples out there that get inspired by watching or listening to our podcast, to get motivated to change their lives around financially, to help out, their families in any way possible. And I know that it's been a few months. 2020 was crazy. The beginning of 2021 was hectic, but we're back here now. And like always, want to say my greetings. Talo falava, malo lele, aloha, yorana, bula vinaka, kiora, mabuhay, afade, nihao, konnichiwa, ciao, hola, and what was that? The new Korean one we learned the last podcast. Onion
Annyeongso.
so. So
if you know any,
it's annyeonghaseyo.
See.
See?
So there you go. There's our next interviewer, and he's from Korea, and I'll just play loose. But without further ado, this podcast is a special one because we're interviewing somebody who reached out to me through the podcast, through our YouTube channel, and then via our Facebook, my Facebook DJ page. And he was reaching out, and I said, "Oh man, let me check out what's going on." And I finally touched back, and he had a lot of inspirational stories to tell me about his journey, and how he's just, real excited about teaching and just letting people know, what's going out there in the world with him, surrounding him, that can help out our peoples, So without further ado, my boy, he goes by Will Wellington in the house. What's up, brother? What's up, Oos?
Bro. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So I remember you said that it was like one of your aingas, one of your family members, stumbled upon our podcast, and she, the family member, was from California.
Yeah.
And then out to you, said, "Hey, check out that Growin Samoan podcast." And then that's how you found us, right?
Yep. So it's it's funny because I was, talking to my cousin, and he's on the same like wavelength as far as like, financial literacy, and then self-development. And he was talking to me, and he's telling me about a podcast he's listened to. It's called Growin Samoan, and he was like, they're based out in Seattle. I was like, "Oh, solid." I didn't know there was a poly podcast out here. So he gave me the name. And I looked you guys up on YouTube, and then I just felt like reaching out. I think you guys have play a good role as far as like giving the education to our poly community.
That's what's up, bro. And off of the podcast, we got a chance to chop it up a little bit too.
Yeah.
Get to know each other too. So it's a small world because you and my wife are related. Somehow, somewhere, we're all related, all polys. But so that's dope, man. Big shout outs to your ainga that stumbled upon our podcast. And also there's podcasts are becoming very like popular from like when I first started last year.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my podcasting friends, they've told me a lot about a lot of people in the podcast space. And I know you heard of them, Big Goose Radio.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely.
Big Goose Radio. They podcast. They podcasters from out here too in the Northwest. Yeah, and I don't know, it's been a while. I think COVID kind of like put everybody on pause for a minute, but big shout outs to them.
Yeah.
And now let's just dive into it, man. let's get to know you. Let's get to know
Yep.
Will Wellington and what inspired you to reach out to the Growin Samoans podcast. So let us know a little bit about yourself, your background, where you came from, and what you're about.
Okay. So American Samoan, born in Seattle, Washington. Originally from West Seattle, but my family pretty much all from South End, West Seattle.
South,
grew up
the
in
South End. We call it a South End.
Yep, South End with an F.
That's the south of Seattle for all the worldwide listeners that are tapping in right now. So that's what the South.
The family's from the South End. Growing up in those less fortunate areas, grew up on Rainier Ave. I just didn't want to have history repeat itself. You know what I'm saying? I seen my parents struggle growing up. I seen my mom struggle, especially, because I lost my dad at the age of 11. So I had to grow up real quick, I had to be the man of the house, quote unquote,
Yeah. First of all, man, sorry to hear that. Also, condolences to your that's a young age. That's a young age.
It was probably one of my, I don't know. I mean, I choose to look at it as one of my bigger blessings as far as me being able to develop in a quicker manner, rather than the ones that grew up around me, my peers and all that. But
a blessing in a way where it kind of like made you grow up quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I feel you. I hear you, bro.
So, losing my dad at a young age, having to grow up quick, I understood that, I got to make money. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, I followed in suit, just like along with everybody else in my, surroundings. Is we fell into the dope game, selling drugs and stuff like that.
And we talked about that offline.
Yeah.
We talked about that offline, and just I'm gonna tell the viewers, just like I told you, this story about Tupac. The little saying he had, and I was cracking up because, Tupac said, I tried to slang dope. I was bad at it, so I stopped. I quit. And just like a lot of us who are on the podcast, a lot of listeners, and I know there's a lot of listeners that can relate to our game. Whether you're in Seattle, whether you're in California, whether in New Zealand, we are all raised in that environment where it's very hard. You just know what you're surrounded by. It's not our fault. It's just you're doing whatever you can do by your surroundings. And I'm pretty sure a lot of Usos listening right now, like, yup, I know that. I know what's up.
Yeah.
Because same here. I fell in that game, in that environment. Had to learn the hustle game real quick. I was horrible at it. I said, "Nah, I'm good. I ain't gonna do that no more." But like we talked about offline, it's we have that mindset. Even though you're in a tough environment, being raised, that your mind is telling you how to hustle to make money for your family. But there's other ways to do that, and that's what we talked about also, which you're going to let us know about, in your journey in your history. So go ahead, continue with your background, Uso.
Yeah. So, my parents, they knew, or not my parents, my family, because I grew up with, just like all Polys, man, it takes a village to raise a family, So I grew up mainly under my my aunt and uncle's house. I was over there a lot. Some of my older brothers, they were always getting into trouble, so we decided to move to Tacoma. Try to get away from, Seattle and the area that we were in. And honestly, it was the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Moved right up to Hilltop. We went from High Point to Hilltop, which is crazy.
High Point. For worldwide listeners who are tapped in, it's a rough area to be raised in, and that's part of Seattle. And then Hilltop. Then you moved to Hilltop. You said Tacoma.
Yes, sir. Yep.
That's another tough, rough neighborhood to be raised in. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, super tough beginnings. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you know that saying, right? You take the person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person, right?
You take it out the ghetto, but you can't take that out of.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
But you can change it. Change it.
Yeah. Yeah. But man, yeah, just I think that entrepreneur mindset, just always wanting more, kind of started leading me to actually, let me back up for a second. The reason why I stopped selling dope, all that is because of my wife to be now. Honestly, if it wasn't for her and my daughter, I'd probably still be a statistic.
Hey,
I would have either be locked up or dead.
hey, that's what's up.
And I'm not gonna say I wasn't good at it because I was making money.
There you go. There you go.
But at the same time, knowing that I'm gonna have a daughter come, I can't bring her into this lifestyle.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I know right from wrong. You know what I mean? So, I'm just gonna stop doing that, and then I just went into the working for. I got a job, man. Started working at Costco for, I think it was like 2010. 2010, I started working at Costco. I was there for 9 years.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So I know what it is to grind. But while I was there, I started learning how to climb the corporate ladder. I went from working entry level, became a supervisor, did maintenance. I was a maintenance technician. And then right when I was trying to apply to become a manager, I didn't get the position. You know what I'm saying? So I went to another department. But at the same time, I'm thinking, like, I started looking around. I was like looking at the managers and everything. It's nothing against them. It's just I didn't see myself doing that for another 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? So my need and want to pursue more. I started looking at other opportunities, and I found myself going into the construction industry. So I've been in scaffold for about almost 4 years now. I've been doing scaffold for about 4 years now. Met a lot of Usos. Pretty cool, man. Good people there. But at the same time, seeing them being in the game for 15 plus years, 20 plus years, and I don't want at the same time, I don't want to live that same life. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a good life. You know what I'm saying? They're well paid. They're taken care of, but their body takes a toll. You know what I'm saying? It takes a toll on their body. You know what I mean? We see a lot of those with like back problems. You know what I'm saying? Me, I want to be able to enjoy my later 30s and 40s. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of opportunity out there. I don't know, there's other ways to make money. So it just got me into the mindset of owning a business.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much where I'm at now. I'm a licensed broker for life insurance in the state of Washington. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing now. I'm building my business to create that financial wealth, that generational wealth, and then at the same time, preaching that or pushing financial education to our people, especially.
Yeah, and that's what our podcast is 100% about. Is anything. Well, it's basically personal finance, but anything financially, has to do with financial education, financial literacy, financial intelligence of any sort that we can preach to our people.
Yeah.
So they can feel comfortable watching or listening to people that's like them, and that's why I was telling you offline too, right, bro? This is what I'm talking about, is that there's Usos like you who hundreds, thousands, millions out there that have the same like mindset, that know that there's a way out of the game, whether it be hustling the streets or whether it be working that 9 to 5 and being stuck in that rat race, and any 9 to 5 climbing that corporate ladder, or just working hard labor jobs. We all have that mindset, like there's got to be a way out of there.
There's more.
There's more. Yeah,
there's more to it.
And that's what we preach, and that's why I'm glad that you're on the podcast to share your experiences, your background, your history, to let people know that you're not just some a fake sellout dude that's just trying to be somebody. It's like, this is the real you.
Yeah, thanks for not wearing a suit.
No, you can wear a suit if you want to. I ain't got nothing against that.
Some as I is, man. God said, accept you as you are.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's what it is. There's no trappings of anything. We don't. It's nothing like that. It's all about you are who you are.
Yeah, because the people, our people, they're gonna see right through it. Just like you can see right through some people.
Yeah.
And I think people feel more comfortable when they listen to our podcast and they listen to us interview someone like you. Like, oh man, it's another Uso man who's living the same life I'm living, but he's got a story to tell. He's found something. So oh, wow, this is amazing. I want to listen to it. So tell us a little bit more about. Well, I want to know, like, what was that? We like to call it a tipping point.
Daughter and his.
That's right. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about when you said that you wanted to make a change, and it was for your wife and your daughter, and that made you realize, all right, I got to do something. And then also when you stumbled upon this business opportunity and you saw another way out of the corporate ladder, or even the hard labor industry. Like, what was those main points in your life where you're just like, oh man, you just, a light bulb hit and you heard something someone said, or a mentor came up to you and you just like, oh snap, okay. Tell us a little bit. Oh, was that your daughter came in the room?
It was my wife.
Oh, you about to get sasaus.
Yeah, so the tipping point, like you referred to earlier, was with my wife. She pretty much gave me, ultimatum. It's either me or dope game.
You see your wife, tell her we send our love, bro. Tell her we send our love.
Smart woman.
And your daughter.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to meet. My daughter has a brother now, so there's two of them now.
Oh, that's right. Congratulations, Zeus. I didn't know that. Right on.
But it was she gave me an ultimatum. You know what I'm saying? She was on her own path as far as she was playing sports. She was basketball, going to state for a basketball team. On her way to college. She's going places. For herself.
That's what's up.
And I just really wanted to. I guess a lot of this, it kind of led me to my faith, honestly. Pursuing her. God said, delight thyself unto me, unto the Lord, and I'll give you desires of your heart.
Hey.
Psalms 37:4.
Preacher.
I'm not no preacher. I'm not perfect, but man, I'm saying I think everything happens for a reason, and it's crazy because, like, I was trying to be with her before we were gonna have a kid. I was trying to be with her for a while, and the day where I was just like, if it's meant to be, God, it's up to God, what I'm saying? And the day I tell myself that, she texted me, she said she was ready to be with me, which is kind of crazy, what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think that, just leaving it in God's hands and, just making sure that it's by his will, what I mean? It'll be done.
Amen, bro. Amen to that.
Yeah, it's a cool story, what I'm saying? But that verse, Psalms 37:4, that's kind of what I live by, as far as, as long as I continue to do God's work, what I'm saying, whatever I have on my heart, he's going to bless me with, what I'm saying? And even if I feel like I want something, what I mean, there's a strong desire for something, if it's not meant to be, you know, it's not in God's will. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not ready to accept it. You know?
I love that, Oos. And that you said that's your favorite verse?
It's not my timing. It's his time.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
That's your favorite verse?
Yes, sir. Yep. Whoa. Psalms 37:4.
Okay.
So delight thyself unto the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart.
Man, I love that. That's for Growin Samoan people out there. You heard it right here, right now. You know, get your highlighters out, and you better highlight that in your kusipaia, all right? So, tell us a little bit more about like your experiences you're going through now that's helping you out in your journey to generational wealth, and you're talking about financial literacy and stuff like that.
Correct. Yeah. So I stumbled across a mentor on YouTube, and his name is Matt Sapala. But him and his wife, you know, they've been pouring into Pacific Northwest. They come out here and they teach us how to run our business. You know what I mean? They themselves have built generational wealth, and what other way to learn how to create it, you know, than by somebody who's already done what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just, you know, learning from their experiences, following their guidance, and, you know, eventually if I continue to do the work, because we all work hard, right? Us Polynesian people, we all work hard. It's just working hard in the right industry. You know what I mean? So me putting 10, 20 years into a company that's not going to give me, you know, what I'm looking for, it doesn't make sense to me, right? So that's why I decided to, you know, pursue this opportunity as far as the financial service industry, because it will create that wealth that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? And I don't look at money as far as like, oh, I'm rich, you know, stuff like that. I look at money as far as options. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can live in the better side of Tacoma, you know what I mean? Rather, you know, stay on the hilltop. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at money, or coupon. You know, it just buys you options. That's what I see it as. It's a tool. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
To get
That's what we preach.
Better life. Yep.
Yeah. It's a tool. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm in the financial service industry. Like I said, I'm a licensed broker in the state of Washington, and we're pretty much just giving information. You know what I'm saying? We're putting it out there as far as because we're in life insurance, to be specific. But a lot of our people, especially people in general, aren't educated on as far as life insurance. They know the word, you know what I mean, but they don't understand how good of a tool it can be for them. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what we're doing. You know, I'm still new. I don't know everything about life insurance, but, you know, I understand that it can put me in a better position than I was left at as far as for my kids. You know what I mean? Because when my dad passed, he had his company, I guess it was a 401 or whatever, you know what I mean? But my mom, she was raising a single mom raising 4 kids. You know what I'm saying? So of course she's gonna see struggle. Of course we're gonna see struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think I just want to be able to leave my kids with something more than just a good work ethic. You know, I want to be able to leave them with something that's tangible, something that they can be able to not experience some of the things that I've had to experience.
And definitely not debt. You don't want to leave them with debt.
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't want to leave my debt. Yep.
And that's basically the main thing. Life insurance, the pops in my head is you're covered. Like, especially like in our, you know, in our Samoan communities where, you know, there's funeral expenses.
It's fa'alawas and fa'alawas money.
Yeah. But life insurance.
It's crazy because that's a lot of our reason why we're getting into because we're building a team out here in Pacific Northwest, based out of Tacoma, but that's our whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go and spend a couple of weeks and get up to like, 30 grand, you know what I'm saying, as far as a family. But why do that? Because for a lot of us, they put a
strain on people's finances.
Exactly. And I think that, if you were to just invest into not invest, but if you were to just get yourself covered, you can avoid all that. You know what I mean?
At least the basics.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a little bit of what our message is as far as life insurance. You know what I'm saying?
So I have a quick question. How long ago did you find this business or on YouTube and became involved?
So I've been watching Matt, his videos for, I want to say, since like October of 2020. And I didn't know what he was into. I just know that he has an entrepreneurial mindset, and I know that his morals and valuables, they match up with mine as far as family, finances, and pretty much being able to pay it forward. Cool. But it's crazy because the opportunity, I was invited to come to our leader's house. It's Mike and Jackie Polynesian. He was actually the one that got in contact with Matt, and I was invited to come to the house because I followed Matt, and it was crazy how the whole thing played out. Mike was talking to me about the opportunity, and I was telling him, I was watching videos on life insurance, or not life insurance. I was watching videos on Matt, and then I told him Matt's name, and then that's when he was like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be at the house on Friday." I was like, "Oh shoot, all right, maybe I'll pull up," because I know this guy has a ton of knowledge, you know what I'm saying, as far as finances and stuff like that. So I went to the house. I met Matt, and obviously he's knowledgeable of what he's doing and what he's talking about. But then, even then, I didn't pursue the opportunity. Yep. It wasn't until my aunt got involved, and my aunt was someone that helped raise me. She's married to my uncle. You know what I mean? But that's kind of the reason that why I look at the opportunity. But then getting involved, I'm starting to understand why it makes so much sense and how much value it can bring to our people. And not just our people, just our community as a whole, like in like the middle class, so to speak.
So what was the main thing that got you interested, as far as like when it's about like life insurance, that got you interested in becoming the agent? I know it's because you said that your background history, your story, and you don't want to leave your wife or your children hanging. So life insurance, reaching out and preaching that to our peoples, what inspired you? Like, I know there was something in there, like, the word and then just filling that void. Like, there was something that filled you up to say, this is me. I know I can do this because this is like, everything happens for a reason. Like, what was your inspiration to pursue it? Like, because you said you didn't do it when you first went. Well, you said your aunt kind of like, was she an inspiration for you to get involved, like more involved into it and just dive in?
She was the reason why we took a second look. And then because Sheena was the one that did the presentation, when Sheena came in, things just started making more sense. You know what I mean? As far as like, so people don't like network marketing because you have to talk to people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to connect with people. But to be an entrepreneur, you have to learn sales, right? Because that's what entrepreneurship, you're in sales. And then just being able to learn from cash flow millionaires, it just made too much sense. You know what I'm saying? I have someone that's willing to come all the way from Chicago and be able to pour into us. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have someone that's cash flow of millionaires and they're willing to come out here, why not take the opportunity? You know, it don't cost me anything for them to come out here. You know, they're just pouring into me and helping me and my wife build our business. So that was a big thing as far as pursuing this opportunity.
That's what I love too, because I like the honest truth. When you're growing up in the hood, and I'm speaking for myself, and you could probably feel me on this, bro. And I'm talking about, like, you know, from the streets of California to the streets of the Bay Area to up here, you know, and you've been in the tough parts too. You don't ever have anybody that's a millionaire talk to you, or hey, you've never even seen a millionaire. You never even even know how what they are. So I understand. I can relate to you that when you see people with knowledge that actually have wealth, that want to share information, it's like you gravitate to that. It's automatic. It's like, oh wow, I've never had anybody like this come around, so let me gravitate to that. That's what I want. You know, that's what I want. And it's funny because we've had that opportunity too, you know, and I understand too. It's like you get a lot of knowledge just by spending little time and just chit chatting, and then just absorbing in information from these people who are super wealthy, you know, that can just teach you one little thing, and then you fly with it. And those are the little things that you can't get by reading a book, or, like, you know, or even just you know, whatever, watching a video. But the one-on-ones, it's like, oh man, this is crazy. It's real life. And you know, that's what happened to us too. You know, it's we talked about it on our previous podcast. You know, one of our relatives, she was multi-millionaire. You know, what's up, DC?
Oh, that's my son.
Oh, they said, what's up, Neff? Oh, it's all good. He said, what's up? We have our kids. What's up, boy? Say what's up to the world. You're going to be YouTube famous.
You can be on YouTube. What's up? What's up?
Oh, it's not even true.
Oh, man.
We're in our living room.
Oh, my God.
You see our kids playing on the
Video
games,
games.
everything, bro. It's all good. It's
Yeah,
all good. We're nobody famous. Don't you worry about it. We're nobody.
My man stays on Fortnite and all that.
That's what we preach. What we preach on our podcast is all organic.
It's raw.
It's
just
raw, organic. Whatever happens.
Kids walk in front of the camera. Yeah, you've seen the videos. You know.
But yeah, I feel you on that. It was, you were talking about your guy from Chicago coming all the way out, you know, touching down in the Pacific Northwest. Whatever it may be, whatever little information, education we can get from people who's been there, it goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? It goes a long way. And I know that's probably the thing that kind of, like, you know, lit a fire, like, oh man, this is, you know, because on a real 100, I've been there, you know what I'm saying? I've been there, and I know that feeling. It's a great feeling. I love that feeling. And there's not a whole lot of Usos that's been in where we came from that has had that opportunity to feel that. You know, so yeah, I feel blessed that I had the opportunity, because where me and my wife is at right now, we're in an awesome place. And that's because we had those opportunities just like you are having right now. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we failed. We tried it. We failed over and over again. And you know that saying, you have to fail in order to succeed. So.
And also, what we were talking about, sales.
Yeah, I don't sell. I can't sell anything worth a damn.
Yeah, and that's you know, one of the people I like to preach and look as a mentor, even though I don't even know the guy. He don't know me. Robert Kiyosaki. They preach that all the time. Is that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to learn how to learn sales.
Correct.
And in any business, you have to sell. If you don't sell anything, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? So the hardest part about sales is coming out of your shell. Is standing up, calling, knocking, talking, doing a Zoom conference. These are the things that a lot of, like 99% of us hold back, especially like whether it's our people's, other races. we all have that self-doubt and fear where we're like, oh no, I'm good. I don't want to come out of my shell.
Mhm.
But in order to sell, you have to come out and you have to sell, you know, in order to make
Yeah.
sales, or else your business is going to go nowhere, because you got to,
Mhm.
that's what sales is all about. You got to sell stuff, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be. Yeah.
Some of the richest people in the world. You got right here in our backyard. You got Bezos. You know what I mean? Sales. Amazon. You know what I'm saying? That's all sales.
Yep.
You got shoot, Bill Gates. You know what I mean? All these guys mastered that art. You know?
Yeah. The bottom line, period, whatever business you're in, if you own a business, if you don't sell anything, you're not going to make any business. You got to learn sales. That's the number one part of owning any business, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So the other thing that I loved what you talk about and was that you're new to learning this business.
Yeah.
And that's great, because it gives you a mindset, you know, to all the people out there who can understand and relate. Like, look, you're putting it out there. Look, I'm new. I'm still learning, but at the same time, I'm making moves. I'm making decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm getting out of my shell, because I know that, you know, in the long run, in time, due time, it's going to generate some wealth for me and my family. You know what I'm saying?
And that what you just said, I think that's the that's kind of what separates, you know, 2% of America, you know, the wealthy, is the ability to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? I think with a lot of the people that come from where we come from, is they always got to sit there and think about it, you know, ponder on it, and you know, is this good for me? Is this not? Instead of actually just making that decision. You know, even if you fail, you just learn from that. You know, you got to learn to pivot, adapt, you know what I mean? And then come back at it at a different angle. And I think that ability to make a decision is kind of what holds a lot of us back.
That's one of the things that we preach, is take action.
Take action. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I learned that from another podcast, and they preach that all the time. You know, they call it, I forgot the name of it, where they just procrastinate. They're scared, and they just don't take action.
Yeah, you can do all the research, spend so much time researching, but even if you get all this knowledge but don't take action to actually do it.
I remember, it's called, this other podcast, they call it analysis paralysis. It's where they just continue to analyze, and they're stuck in that analyze. Well, what if I? So a lot of us are in that analysis paralysis, when you just need to just don't worry about that, just take action.
Yep.
So take action. And also, like you were just talking about how taking action, you know, getting out there, doing things. Offline, we were talking about the number one thing which taught me about everything financially, that I know, is through reading. And for me, it was audiobooks. And you came across a book that was a great motivational book that you told us about, which was, what was the name of that book? Let's talk more about that book, because that's a great inspirational, you know, stories. Like,
if it inspired you to and motivated you to keep going, then that's definitely something that might motivate somebody else who's listening.
Because the only reason I'm bringing it up is, on the real 100%, the only reason why me and my wife are created generational wealth, and we created a lot of wealth right now, and we're at a place we've never been our whole entire lives, and we're good, we're happy, and it's still growing. It's because my relative, she's a multimillionaire even to today, she told me about a book. I read the book. Everybody knows the name of the book. I always talk about it, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I listened to an audio book, and it shot me into a whole nother world. So that's the only reason I'm asking you about this book. What's the name of the book?
It's Pete Carroll's book, Win Forever.
What was the name again? The author?
Pete Carroll. It's by Pete Carroll.
Isn't he that Super Bowl coach?
From, yeah.
What's the name of that team again?
Seahawks.
So all you listeners out there, you know, I don't mean to that.
Don't worry, we have families.
I'm original Seattle too.
Hey, there you go, the old Sonics throwback. I love that. There you go.
Yeah. But it's Pete Carroll's book, Win Forever. and it pretty much just talks about maximizing your potential. You know what I mean? Because I played sports. I played sports in high school. You know, I was always that dominant practice player. You know what I mean? So I've always. It's just when it came to game time, I wasn't able to perform. But the same thing that held me back out of school and good grades and playing sports was that gang life, the hanging out with the wrong people. But I've always felt like I was meant for something great. You know what I mean? So I think that's the reason why I continue to pursue greatness. Great opportunities. Reason why I was attracted to Matt is because I see greatness. Like I was saying, our morals and values and principles, they align with each other. You know what I mean? And then having the opportunity to learn from them is crazy.
And that's one of your mentors, Matt Sapalo, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for anybody, as long as you find your niche in the financial world, wherever it is that the path you want to take, I mean, like this is something that you want to pursue because it fits perfectly with you, just like how our community is the fire community. We this is what we want. We want that financial independence. Going forward, and that's great. Everybody's different,
And as far as like like you're saying, like niches or niches is like I didn't aspire to be a life insurance agent or a insurance broker, but I understand that in like my real passion is to help people. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to see the growth, and that's kind of what the book talks about is maximizing potential. My passion is to see the growth in our youth. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a lot of little brothers or cousins that are brothers. You know what I'm saying? And I help guide them. You know what I'm saying? And I think in order for me to help them take them to another level, I have to go to another level. You know what I mean? I have to grow in order for them to grow. So I think that's a big thing as far as like my passion. But in order for me to do that, I have to generate wealth. You know what I'm saying? And being in the financial industry is a place where I can create that type of wealth. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Oosh, that's 100 right there, what you just said. And, what you just said, it hit me, close to my heart. You said your passion is to help others.
Yeah.
That's what I've been learning over these few years. A lot from all these motivational speakers and that I listen to is, what you just said. If you're not helping others, then you're not going to grow. The people who just are in for themselves, it's like they'll get something, but they're not going to grow to another level that makes them feel great about themselves. And what you're doing right now, right here on our podcast, Luz, is you're helping right now. You just by being on here with us, Luz, like you're being an inspirational story, bro. It don't matter about generational wealth that I know you're gonna build, in the near future. But what matters to me is like right now, you're an inspirational story. You're helping others because you're probably one of the few people we've had on our podcast that's reached out to me to preach about more about financial literacy to help out our people in the form of whatever it may be, whether it's through life insurance, business opportunities, or whether it's other things. Your story still aligns with a lot of our people that can relate to us. So I just want to, show you and give you some big props and love because
I appreciate that.
What you're doing right now is big time. I mean, people are going to hear you from all around the world, and just remember, that what you're doing right here, right now on our podcast, it's going to touch a lot of people, and that's more than anything. It will inspire them to keep pushing, and I hope you can take that with you to give you those good checks. You know how you got to have like, well, I remember I was on the podcast, so I know that's. I'm doing good things. I'm leaving the mark in the world for myself, my wife, my kids, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, straight up, bro.
Building that legacy.
Mm-hmm. And I know the generational wealth, though, you're going to build it quick, you know, because I can see the drive in you. And also, hey, you young, bro. Look, do you want to tell the viewers how old you are?
I'm not that old. I'm 31. I'm 31.
So Mr. Will Wellington, the Oos, he's 30 years, 31. You 30 or 31?
31. I just hit 31 this year.
Okay, so he just turned 31, and I told him offline too, like what I'd say this a lot on the podcast. It ain't nothing to the viewers, the listeners, is age ain't nothing but a number, you know. Wherever you start at, whatever age, whether it's 31, 41, 51, 61, 71, 81, as long as you dive into financial literacy, it's going to help your life out.
Yeah.
Without it, your life is just going to continue to be the same old, you know. And that's what we're talking about here. You know, that's why your age right now also, like you just turned 31. I'm 41. So there's a 10-year gap there, right? And when I was 31 compared to now, the time flew by like that to me. If I were in your shoes right now and I knew what I knew back then, you know, like how you're doing it right now, and you got a lot of more information coming towards you, by the time I'm right here, we'd probably be like living in Hawaii or something, in Rome.
We
visiting. We
wouldn't
be working right now.
We wouldn't be rich. We wouldn't be rich.
Well, we'll be wealthy,
but we'll be
comfortable enough to say no more 9 to 5, and we can just live the life we want to live.
So that's our goal. That is basically what we're striving for, is to be financially independent, to not have to rely on the 9 to 5. He can DoorDash to his heart's content or DJ, and you know.
But that's my point is, like, you're 31.
You have leverage over us.
You have a lot of time to just generate that wealth. That's why I know it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you're grinding. I know that you have that strong spirit in you. You got some great mentors and everything. And you know, one thing, you know, is like you said, we talked offline too. We dabbled in other little stuff. We failed in other stuff, but the more you fail, the more you learn. You know, that's what we preach too. You have to fail in order to succeed. Just like riding a bike. You're not just gonna hop on a bike and just do Papa Willies and go, you know, zooming out. You're gonna eat it. You're gonna scrape. You're gonna, you know, have cuts. Be like, oh, I don't want to. But you gotta get up on the bike and ride again, right?
You know, it's that fear though. It's that fear of crashing again.
Exactly. Exactly. Riding a bike is like, oh, okay, I fell down, get up. But when you shoot money out there, open up businesses, and you lose businesses, open up business, lose business, woo, that's a tough game right there. And that's the game that people who want to expand their life to a financial sense, then we start playing that game. And it's like, all right, but the more and more you lose and you get tough, the more and more you build, you know, armor, so you're ready, prepared, and that's how you get better. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get better. So
you only got to get it right once. You know what I'm saying?
That too. Yeah, there you go.
You only got to get it right one time.
And then you have a lot of people you can learn from their mistakes, like me. So, you know, but little bit more about let's see, we got a little bit more time. We're getting close to the end, but so just tell us a little bit more about life insurance, because I know we're talking about life insurance. I don't know nothing about life insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you said you're new to it too. I'm not expecting you to be an expert or anything, but you know, just let us know what you know about your business and how it can help out our peoples.
So the biggest thing, like, you know, especially with our times right now, as far as COVID, the Polynesian community is the highest like death rate. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy. You know,
I believe it.
We're being impacted the most by COVID. So, you know, obviously there's a lot of funerals. I think myself, we've probably just in like the last few months, there's probably been like 6, you know, within my kind of like, you know, close circle, which is crazy. So, obviously, life insurance, it would, is going to help. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to, or, not having to do file out levies and all of that. Because, that puts a strain on our people.
Yeah, families having to come out of their pockets to help, especially if that family member that passed away doesn't have life insurance. Well, the family would have to come out of their pockets to pay for funeral expenses and so forth. I've done some research on life insurance. I've been trying to get him to do it too.
Yeah.
Because term and whole are definitely very important in my vocabulary right now.
Yeah, exactly. So term it would be the more affordable option. You know what I mean? Pretty much where you want to be is a permanent life insurance. But pretty much what we're doing, the team that we're building out here is, trying to educate our Polynesian community as far as instead of having to go through that strain of the whole thing as far as like file out is, why don't you just get yourself covered, protect your family so they don't have to go through this financial crisis or anything like that, or create that financial strain when you can be ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? Just get yourself a policy, and to most people they don't understand that policies are affordable. You know what I mean? You can get yourself covered. I would say the earlier the better. You know what I'm saying? So if you're young, it's best to get a policy now because it's affordable. A lot of us wait till we're like 50, 60 to get an insurance policy, and that's when it's expensive. But if you're, like myself, I think we're able to get, I think my policy is like $40 a month. You know what I'm saying? I spent $40 on going to the store, you know what I'm saying? Just on nothing.
On my wine? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That's dope. Is that what the term is? Or the permanent? Or that'll be for like 40 for the rest of your life, right? It won't grow, it won't or be raised
for a whole life.
Yeah.
For a whole life, yeah.
Yeah.
Locked in at that rate. Term policies is like renting a policy. It only lasts for 30 years or however long you get it. Or I think there's 15, 20, and 30.
30, yeah.
So you're basically already building that generational wealth through the policy, your life insurance policy. Because, and I we don't want to ever talk about it, but death is a part of life.
Exactly. It's 100% guaranteed.
Yeah. It's guaranteed. That's something that's going to happen to each and every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I love about that you're starting to build this generational wealth through that, because know for a fact that if anything happens to you later down the road, because you're gonna be living a long life, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That your children, whatever you leave behind, that it'll be a big chunk of wealth that'll go directly to them. And that's what we're all about. It's all about our kids.
You're teaching them. You're going to teach them the right way of when this big chunk of wealth is there to build that's the generation.
That's what exactly. Yep, just like you said, so they don't have to be raised in the tough environments we had to be raised through. They'll have, and you know what? It's sad to say, but we talk about it a lot on our podcast too, about generational wealth and how our peoples, we don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And it's not our fault. We just weren't educated. We came here to, our grandparents or great grandparents, whatever,
to seek better jobs, better, opportunities.
And we're learning. Our generation is still learning. So, I congratulate you for doing that and building already generational wealth. That you can actually say that, no, I know I'm good. I'm building some wealth, you know what I'm saying, for my kids and my legacy, and it can get trained and passed on, So that's dope. I like that. And we're going to definitely check into that too.
Yeah. I have a question for you about the life insurance. So you know how most employers offer life insurance so you have your life insurance through your employer?
Yeah.
They offer that benefit. Now, would you need to get a separate one individually, or does that usually the employer's insurance is only and then that's only if you're employed with them, I'm guessing is how that works.
Correct. Yeah. So, insurance through your work is good. Life insurance is good. It's affordable. But at the same time, if you leave your job, that policy doesn't cover you anymore.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, and then at the same time, if they decide to change the coverage or change anything, you have no say in it. So if they wanted to pull it, it's up to the company. So it's always best to have something that you own.
Your own personal.
Correct. Something that you're in control of, something that you have to say on, you know what I'm saying? And yeah.
I want to tell you a story I heard on another podcast. And this podcast is called Earn Your Leisure. Have you ever heard of that podcast?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So these Meuli cats, I don't know if people want to call them Kangaka Uli or Meulis, but these African American brothers have a podcast called Earn Your Leisure. And they have real estate guys on there. They have life insurance guys on there. You name it, and all kinds of whatever businesses. And they had a life insurance guy come on there, and he hit me hard when he was talking about life insurance, and he would trip me out because he said, like what I just said, death is going to happen to all of us. And he said, how come? He said, you can build quick generational wealth. I don't know if call it quick. If you come together as a family, you see who the eldest is, whether it's your great grandma, your grandma, and their time is coming, or your grandpa,
the matriarch.
Their time is coming, and the family chips in together, to get a life insurance for the eldest, because they know it's coming, and they get the highest whatever.
I think it's the whole.
And then they all just pay the monthly bill for that elderly. So when their time comes, and they explain to that elderly that when your time comes, we have this insurance, and then after that insurance, you pass, the insurance will be split up against throughout the whole the family, and that's a quick way for them to build generational wealth also.
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, I was blown. I was like, whoa. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the stuff we need to learn. You know what I'm saying?
It's smart.
Yeah.
It's smart. Very smart.
It's I think life insurance is a big reason why there's such a gap as far as the Falangis and Polys, because they understand the value of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Instead of us passing away and leaving debt to, they pass away and they leave lump sum of money.
Yep.
They leave wealth. Yeah.
Inheritance.
Yeah, they leave estates. That's and they've been doing it for generations now. They have time on as far as them being here longer, but we're catching up. I can as far as a poly community, I can see us going in the right direction. In a better direction. Yeah,
and so I listen to a lot of podcasts. That's my thing. And when I entered into the personal finance world, personal finance podcasts, and I started learning everything about real estate, stocks, financial education. Of course, life insurance was a part of it. And I've heard a lot of people talking about, leaving them behind wills, estates, everything. So, definitely, bro, that's always been in the back of my mind, and I most likely will start looking into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's been a part of the space. I just haven't, did my education on it and dabbled into it yet. But most definitely, bro, I know I'm gonna have to, and when I do, I'm gonna be knocking on your door, bro. No.
Yeah. It's crazy that you say that, because I think life insurance is not as sexy as real estate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But insurance is the backbone, of everything. You know what I'm saying? When you buy a home, you get home insurance. You know what I'm saying? When you buy a car, you get car insurance. You know what I'm saying? It's that layer of protection that you have. And then that's why, but it's crazy that a lot of people, they have home insurance, phone, insurance on everything that's replaceable except for their life.
Exactly.
That's the thing that they,
which is the biggest thing that can build generational wealth, because if you're a family member, if you're a parent, and you know that something's going to happen sooner or later, or whenever it will happen, when God's going to say it's your time, that you know that your children are going to be okay. You know, so it should be like the first thing that we should all be doing, you know. And that's funny that you mentioned that we don't think like that. And it's not, I don't think it's any of our fault. It's just that we're not taught it. You know what I'm saying? Just like we talked about offline, is that the things,
lack of education.
Yeah, the education we're not taught about. And this is a part of it. Is life insurance is a part of it.
That's why I asked
financial education.
That's why I asked that question of those of your employee of an employer's insurance, because most people probably think, oh, well, I have life insurance through my job, not knowing that should you lose your job or should they change anything to it, you technically are not covered. So it's a good, that's why I asked the question. It's a good thing to let people know that are listening that, hey, just because you have insurance through your job does not necessarily mean that you're going to be there for the next, you know, for however long, and if anything should happen to you.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Another thing with insurance through your work. How many people do you know close to you that, you know, have suffered from, like, you know, serious illnesses, as far as like cancer and, you know, car accidents and stuff like that? With your job insurance, it doesn't allow you to have a living benefit. That's another thing that, you know, life insurance provides for you. If you come across like a life altering event, you're able to take from your death benefit and use it, you know, instead of, you know, getting stressed out about you know, bills and stuff like that. So you're able to use a portion of it to help heal. And you know, so you don't have to worry about the bills that are piling up because you're sick.
I did see that on I think it was the whole life insurance benefit, that you can do that. That's the benefit of that insurance instead of term, was that you can loan against it, or I think some of them have the ability to invest as well. I couldn't.
So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I've been, like I said, I've been looking into it a lot.
I'm an investor. I love to invest.
So that's also a perk of, you know, having I don't know if you heard the story with the what's his name, the coach from Michigan.
The old Niners coach.
Harbaugh.
Yeah. I was like the old Niners coach, that one? Yeah.
Yep.
No, I didn't hear it.
Harbaugh, he signed like a $20 million contract, and he wanted $10 million of it to be paid into an life insurance policy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Reason why is because you can build wealth with life insurance policies.
That's the investment perk of that insurance type. Yeah.
Yeah. And the good thing about that is you don't lose money.
What was that again?
You don't lose money. So you're invested, but there's a perk where you don't lose money.
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's probably why it's the most expensive insurance policy, but the perks and the benefits to it is definitely a big plus. So
there's a lot of pluses. There's a lot of benefits. This is another topic that we most definitely needed to dive into, is life insurance.
Yeah, we thank you for bringing it.
Thanks, Oos,
to the table,
for bringing us back to the podcast.
Yeah. Hi.
Hold on. Come in the camera more. Say hi to the world. You're gonna say hi to the world.
You're live?
The beautiful wife right there.
Hi, I'm Tala. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Tala.
This is my wife, Jassity.
Pleasure to meet you.
He was saying you're the reason why his life is everything. It's because of you.
Sounds about right.
I said smart woman.
Hi, guys.
All right, nice to meet you. And there it is, man. That's dope. That's what's up, bro. So, you know, like I said before, just being on our podcast was inspiration to a lot of people. And this is the first podcast we had talked about life insurance.
Yep.
So, you know.
So we're going to grab all of your information, because whoever is listening anywhere people have questions, they can definitely reach out to you or.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's all about networking. That's what it is.
So yeah, before we go, just anything else you want to say?
Yeah.
Any shout outs? Anything you want to say to the world? To, some inspiring words?
Man, honestly, just to our community, our Polynesian community, just keep pushing. To get better, to be greater. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever settle. God has a plan for you. And just you gotta seek it. You gotta go out there and take advantage of it. It's not gonna hit you in the head.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
I hit you in the head, but you gotta take advantage of it.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Just keep work, man. Our people, we come from like farmers. We're hard workers. We just gotta just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of opportunities that is gonna be able to benefit our families.
And how I know you're gonna be big, and you're gonna, in the future, in the near future, you're gonna generate a lot of wealth for you and your family. You know how I know?
How's that, bro?
Because you got that board on your wall right
You
there. And I know you got that up for a reason. There's goals.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know you're using it for everything. We got the same board, man. I don't know. I had a lot of boards, and still to today, we put our goals. We put our lists up and stuff so we can see. And
you have a drive. You can see the drive in you, and honestly, we looked at it as if we didn't set goals for kind of where we wanted to be, what we wanted to end up doing. Honestly, it would be living paycheck to paycheck. We get paid, we spend it, we blow it, no investing, no savings, and we would be stuck in that broke mindset.
Yeah.
So thanks for the last words. Thanks, honey, for for always being a great host. And let all the listeners and viewers know where they can reach you at. And also, I'm gonna put that at the end of the show notes too, so they can get a hold of you if anybody wants to contact you and get more information on this life insurance, bro.
Yeah. So it's WB as in boy Wellington. That's on Facebook, and then WB Wellington 206 on IG.
On IG, Instagram. All right.
As well as Twitter as well. But yeah.
Well, what's the Twitter handle again?
I believe it's the same thing as IG. WB Wellington 206.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll make sure I put that at the end of the show notes. And I most definitely, me and the wifey, we're gonna be looking into that other side of building generational wealth through life insurance, because trust me, bro, I'm always listening on a lot of podcasts about it too, and this is kind of pushing me to make that move. So thank you once again, bro, for
thank you for the opportunity.
No, thanks for your time. I know,
you.
It's always nice to get together and chit chat about finances.
Yeah, that's what we're about. Straight up, outside of like our other. Oh yeah, before we leave, like, what's other hobbies you like to do outside of your business and stuff like that? What hobbies do you like doing?
Shoot, man. Honestly, I'm a hooper, but I haven't hooped in a minute. I think my focus right now is honestly building this empire, man.
Yeah.
I'm so consumed, whether it's watching YouTube videos of my mentor and his mentor, Patrick McDavid. A lot of my energy, time is being put into this into my business, because I have a window of opportunity right now that I'm trying to capitalize on.
There it is. He's a hooper, but he put it on the side. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, don't feel bad. When he first started learning personal finance, he went at it hardcore, and the only time he talked to me was about finances. And straight, honest truth.
Yeah.
And then he
but
tried
it
to
all
get
paid
me.
off.
Yeah, he tried to get me forever to come to see the light of stop spending money, honey, and and so that kind of goes. It's a good thing too, because if you and your spouse aren't on that same mindset of our own personal finances, and he could have been saving and I could have been just spending.
Just going right out.
Right. So we had to learn. And
that's the cool thing.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about this business is we're able to build this together.
That's it. That's awesome.
Okay.
That's the journey. That's part of the journey. I'm looking forward to the journey that you and your wife are going
Oh yeah.
to go on in this, on your business and building that. So
Yeah,
just like our journey is just to get to the end of to the light at the end of the tunnel, so we can just stay home and spend time with our kids.
Like I said, they always ask you why you so extra, because you got to be extra to be extraordinary. Because if you ain't extra, you're just ordinary. Yeah. So with that being said, bro, the rest of the world, they tapping in. And, I just want to thank you for sharing your story. And hopefully all you Growin Samoan podcast listeners and viewers, show my boy some love. Will Wellington in the house. Thank you for coming through. And much love to you, Phoenix kids. And let me see. Any final goodbyes, Uso?
Man.
That's it? No shout outs? Good? All right. So once again, we're gonna leave all the information at the end of the show notes. Don't forget, leave, rate, and review this podcast on our channel, YouTube channel. Throw some comments in there, or go on to iTunes and leave a rate review. Let's see. We're available on 9 podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We're on Spotify. I know a lot of people have Spotify. Check us out so you can listen to this one there too. Overcast, Stitcher, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Breaker. And with that being said, also, we're going to leave it at that. And we're going to say peace out to the family, the Growin Samoan family, with our special guest, Will Wellington in the Fale. Until next time, everybody out there in the world, all our peoples and listeners, keep growing, keep doing what you're doing, and just understand that there's people like you, like Will, and like me. We're out here. Let's get it. Let's get this money. Let's make this financial wealth, this generational wealth grow for our families, y'all. Love you guys. Until next time, peace out. All
right, bro. Thank you.
All right, so just hold on line. I'm about to pause it. All right. Bye, listeners.